I do consider a lot of my growing up back in Hong Kong and listening to Chinese music in general as a major portion of the influence that I have in writing music. Uh, Hardest thing being composers, I guess, um, there's always this dilemma for any creators or artists in general who try to create new things. We always fall into this question of, am I doing something new or am I doing something worthwhile? Why am I doing this in general? And I think that's one of the probably the most difficult question for all composers, that whenever you're writing new things, you just have to keep battling between the idea that I'm writing something creative and fun and new versus I know somebody might have written something that sounds like this. And even the composer, him or herself, might have written something that's very similar to what he or she will be working on soon. So that's the constant battle, I guess, for every artist. The information that actually you gave me on the background of Miss Warner is really interesting, and the idea of using Asian influence in the background music also was quite a lot of fun for me, because I don't do that all the time. So this is a really good reason to call upon all my so to speak Asian background in listening to that particular genre of music growing up, and try to sneak parts of it into the soundtrack for this documentary. Well, I started off with writing a theme for Gertrude, and this theme started with winds beginning with this pentatonic wash of sound, basically, kind of setting up the mood, sort of bringing you back into where she was back in the 1910s, 20s. And the viola would bring up a melody, and the reason actually I picked viola is that it actually sounds a lot like a traditional Chinese instrument called erhu, which has a really earthy and sort of growling gut sound. And so the viola would play this theme that I see as a representation of Gertrude for not only her contribution of bringing the East to the West, but also showing some kind of a little bit of femininity, and also the idea of her being a great legacy of bringing Asian art to the Western world. The piece Train Ride was written for the scene where Gertrude was in the train and the train was being shot at. So a lot of the piece, there's a lot of off rhythms. And very brassy, loud sounds. So it sounds more exciting and adventurous at the same time. There's a lot of repeated notes in the piano that just kind of create this edgy sort of feeling. So when you're listening to it, it's kind of like you're sitting at the edge of your seat. The legacy really is playing off of the theme that came way before everything else was written. And you hear the clarinet started off with the same melody or similar melody that the viola played at the very beginning of the Gertrude theme. And the idea of the legacy is not only to bring back the sort of hint at Asian music, particularly Chinese music, but also creating a sense of portraying Gertrude as being a hero, or a kind of bringing in a legacy. one of the most favorite piece that I written for this project probably would be the Lantern Slide. It's not only the shortest piece in performance time, I actually spent the least time writing it, and I just kind of like the melody in there. I hope the music can not only bring up the imageries of an Asia back in the early 20th century, but also sort of having this idea that fits the documentary about this woman who's trying to bring together the culture of the East with the West. So I hope the music can sort of bring that idea when bring up that idea when the listeners are hearing it. They can hear the melody being played as quite Chinese influence or Japanese influence, but also the instrumentation itself, it's Western instruments. So I really hope that they can hear that when they listen to the tracks.